Okay, here we have a rigged arm that we have an auto patch on, and we've got a fold going here. It's not an auto fold, but it's one we created using the overlay. Works the way we want it to work. And the only thing I just noticed about this is this isn't patched up at the top. So that might be something that when we're putting the character together, we might have to work with that. Don't know. But that's okay. As an arm, it's looking good. Here are the four parts of it: the upper arm, the forearm, the overlay layer, the auto patch, and how they go into the composite right here. So here's what we're going to do to make this work. We are going to make a template out of this and then flip it. Anything else that you start to copy, paste, and flip, as far as a drawing, even a symbol, symbols in Toon Boom are set up so that they mimic each other. So if you make a change in one symbol, it changes in all symbols. So we're going to make this into a template, and then we can flip it. We can do whatever we want to it. It doesn't change the previous one we made. So here it is. First thing to make it, when you're making a template, it actually takes the timeline into it. So it would take this, and in this case, it would take all these empty cells right here. So we don't want empty cells. We just want one frame. We can add cells to it as we build it in another timeline. So we're going to take our, it's not a scrubber bar, but it's an endpoint, and we're going to bring it all over so we just have one cell in our timeline. That's the first thing we're going to do. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the pieces of this arm. There's 4 of them in this case. We are going to group them. So this is a right-click group, but we're going to group them with a composite. Okay, there that is. So let's look inside this grouping. Okay, there's all the pieces, and this is just so you can come into the group from outside. This is so you can go out of the group, but the composite is not set up right. You can see it's not because our auto patch isn't working. So before we move on, we need to reorder that so it works. In this case, the overlay is on the very top or very left. The auto patch is the next in line. And then the parent and the child, which they are set up right because the top is the parent. The upper arm is the parent. The forearm is the child. And that's good. The only other thing we're going to do to this is we're going to change it from a bitmap. What the composite is doing is it's taking these images and it's flattening them into a bitmap image. We don't want to do that yet. We only want to do that in the final composite, not any composite that's above the final composite. So let's just do a pass-through. What that means is these all are composited, but they pass through retaining their original, all their original status that they had up here. They didn't change into a bitmap. They're not flattened. So that's pass through. It changes the look here so you know it's different. So let's come out of there. This is all ready to go. So let's do this. Let's right click this and copy the module. So we copied it. We're going to go to our library. Our library is locked. The stage library is locked. The little lock is there. So we're going to unlock it by choosing this, right to modify. Now it's selected, it's open. We're going to click in there. You can see it's highlighted. We're going to right click and paste. So it's pasting. Now we're going to name it something. Why don't we name it left L? because this is left arm in this case. So there it is. So it's a template now. So I'm going to drag it from our template library over here. Do you want to link to the original palette, or do you want to copy the palette files? I want to copy the palette files. Now here's what's going on. It put it in the same place, so it's stacked. So let's do this. Let's go to, this is the right arm. That's selected, so I'm going to go to the other one, which is this one, and I'm going to uncheck it. What I'm doing is the one that's underneath, left arm, but actually we could do it this way too. We could do that. The one on top is, now I've grabbed the one underneath. I'm moving it over there. This is the left one. I checked it right here so we can see it again. This is left. In this case it's called right G1. So that's just because of the naming of what they were inside. The actual grouping is named that. So if we went into the grouping, the template is named left, but the grouping is named right. So that could be changed. We'll figure that out later. So anyway, there's the two. So this is the one you're working with right here. We're going to flip that. Here's how we do it. What I've done is I've taken my transform tool. I've selected, so the entire piece is selected. Now, if you select it like this and right click to editor, what you're actually seeing here is this top part of the arm, but it controls the whole thing. As you know, it's the parent. So now I'm going to go into, now this is the flipping horizontal part. The x-axis, which x is horizontal, y is vertical. So on the x-axis, the horizontal, we're going to flip it. The way you do that is you do a negative 100%, or 100% is the whole, or in this case 1, but we're going to do a negative. When we do that, it flips it. That's how this whole thing works. So I've already looked at this, and you can see, if you take a closer look, that this is flipped and the sizes are right. So we can look at 100%. You can see that this is a flip because we got a little something that probably needs to be fixed there, but it's on the inside on both sides. And kind of the same thing here. You can see where the two lines come together. It's a totally flipped. It works. So now that we've got that, that's really it. I want to tell you right now, that is it. So they work independently. Here's a good example. If I were going to go into the drawing of this forearm, look at the color, take an eraser, just erase right down the middle of that. This one isn't affected. If these were symbols, this would have the same change in it, but they're not. They are templates. This is a total copy, so I can work on this one. I can work totally on this one, and that is saving you a lot of work, so you didn't have to create this arm all over again. So good one, and there you have it. Boom, boom.